What is going on, guys? I'm Nick, and today we're taking a look at another case for the iPhone 15 Pro, and it's going to be one from Spigen. Today we're looking at the MagArmor, and you can see right here, starting with the packaging, iPhone 6.1-inch Pro 2023 model. So obviously right here on the packaging, you do get the Spigen logo right here in the top left corner, and in the bottom right, you get a nice image of the case itself with its design, and you can see that it is MagFit made for MagSafe. Absolutely love to see that. And then over on the back, of course, just your usual Spigen packaging. And then this really important little notice right here, this box is made from 90% recycled paper. I always love to see that. It's really important to me, and I'm really glad that Spigen takes the environment into mind. But let's get right into the packaging. As I'm opening this up, I'm going to throw the price for this case up on the screen. That's all there is in the box. Set this to the side, and then right here is where you get the case itself. So this is a case that I usually don't tend to rock. I don't take a look at it very often, but with this design, it kind of caught my eye, and I feel like it was one that I hadn't really noticed before. But this is the case itself. It has this kind of like, I'm not sure what I would totally call it, like this steel look. You do keep the Spigen logo right there in the middle towards the bottom, but the inside is what we really want to look at. You do see that it has those magnets built in. Love to see that. Right here, you can see it also clarifies magnetic case for iPhone, and the corners is what's really important to me right there where it says air cushion technology. That is something Spigen does, which are these little air pockets in the corners, and it helps provide extra protection when it comes to corner drops. When you're looking at the sides, there's not really too much going on. It's really just those corners that have that extra impact protection. So let's go ahead and grab the phone, which is right here, the iPhone 15 Pro, and we're just going to snap it in and see how the case looks. Really nice fit, and that is what the phone looks like with the case on. Really minimal case, I would say, with a slight design if that's something you would like. And let's get started right away with some protection. Looking at our cameras first, you can see there's actually a pretty nice lip going around this case despite it being fairly minimal, I would say. You can see how the lip comes right above the lenses, and because of that we are going to do the wobble test, of course, and let's see how much this case wobbles, if at all. So down here at the bottom where you're normally going to be typing, I would say there's really no wobble at all. It's not going to be until you work your way up into that top left corner we're going to get the most wobble. Over on the right side you really don't get any since that's where the cameras are, but everywhere else you really have nothing to worry about. So that's it for the wobble. Definitely not too bad on this case despite it having some pretty protective lip for the cameras. So let's work our way over to the front. You can see right here that there is a pretty minimal screen lip. I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here, so if you don't have one, you're going to see more of a lip, but if you do have one, which I recommend, this is what you're going to be looking at. Despite it having a pretty shallow lip, I would say it has an okay fit. I don't think it's as snug as some of Spigen's other cases or other cases in general, but it's definitely not something where you have to worry about it flying off. I'd say it's pretty loose around the buttons, as you can see right there, and then down by the port. That's really the only areas that have any kind of pull. The sides and the top are pretty okay when it comes to the fit. But let's work our way to the sides. The sides are something I'm actually really impressed with when it comes to Spigen, because you can see there's this extra kind of design going around. There's not a crazy grip going around the sides or anything like that, but they do have pretty nice buttons. Looking at this, you can see the action button does have a dedicated button. It's not just a cutout, which I really enjoy. It does have air slits cut into each side in case that's something that matters to you. We're going to go ahead and test these out now. Action button first. So even though it is a small button that does have those air slits cut in, it is still fairly tactile and very nice to press. Moving on to the volume buttons. Super nice tactile buttons right there for the volume button. Super nice to see those. And let's work our way down. You can see you do get a pretty nice rectangle shaped cutout for that USB-C port. Really love to see that. It's super generous, and I've tried it out with a ton of third-party chargers, and they tend to all fit pretty well. And then you have accurate cutouts for your speaker and your microphone. So you work our way over to the other side. You get a lanyard cutout, which I've noticed isn't too, it's not a very often, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not something that Spigen tends to put on all of their cases. So it's nice to see here that they definitely went ahead and included it. And if that's something that you really look for in a case, this is one to keep an eye out for. And then we do have our power button, which has air slits cut into it as well. You can see right here. Let's go ahead and test out this one. So no different than the volume buttons or the action button. It's also a very nice to press button, and then completely closed over on the top. But of course, the case does say it has MagSafe built in, so we have to go ahead and test that. We're gonna start with the Spigen OMAG ring as always, which is a phone grip and stand in one. We're just gonna go ahead and snap this right on. All right, so it definitely does have MagSafe, no doubt there. And definitely not a slouch for magnets either. Some nice magnets on there. If you guys have been watching my channel, there's not a ton of phones that we can shake this hard without them falling off. Let's put it down on the desk and let's see how it does. Tapping on it, yeah, there it's really just gonna fall over. It is not coming off at all. It's pushing it completely out of frame. So definitely some strong magnets so far. Really nice to see that. You can definitely hear the adhesion. I'm not totally sure if this material here is helping the silicone stick to the case itself. This isn't a super 3D material. You can slightly feel that it has some kind of texture, but it's nothing too crazy. But let's go ahead and move on. Next, we're gonna try out the Apple MagSafe battery pack. Here, we're gonna test out some wireless charging as well as a little bit of MagSafe strength. Snaps on just fine. As you can see, it does wirelessly charge perfectly. And as for strength, this one does seem to stick on there very nicely. We can see that first of all, it's not interfering with the camera lip right there. So no issues there. You have a tiny bit of space there. But if you're using like some huge battery banks, just keep that in mind. You might want to be careful that it doesn't sit on that lip for the camera. But let's try out some false drops. Definitely some hard hits, and it is knocking it. Oh, there we got one drop. It does kind of knock it out of line, but it is not coming off. So I would say that this is one of those cases that if you drop it from a pocket height, not too high, that battery pack will probably stay on. Anything higher might fall off, but nothing too crazy. I would definitely feel fine if my phone fell with the battery pack on. Now, a big one for me, of course, is the Apple leather wallet. We're gonna snap this on. Let's see how it goes. See, we do get that animation. We work our way over to the back. Okay, the leather does tend to feel a little slick on this case. I've noticed throughout some testing, but trying out some false drops. Okay, we did lose it right there. And maybe once more. So I think that's 2 to make it true. If you drop your phone with your wallet on, you might want to look around, make sure that it didn't fall off. But I know for a fact that this is a case you don't have to worry about putting in and out of your pocket. This wallet is not going anywhere when it comes to situations like that. Now for our last MagSafe test, we're going to pull over this Nomad Base One, which is a heavy 1 pound charging base, which has MagSafe built in. We're going to go ahead and snap it on. You can see the magnet just caught, wirelessly charging just fine. And now we're going to try and lift the base with the phone only. I'm just going to touch the edges of the phone. And yeah, I really wasn't too worried about this one. As you can see, it is lifting that entire base completely on its own. We're going to try and see if it can lift it and turn on its side. I'm always a little worried because I don't want to mess up my desk with this thing. And this might be some of the strongest magnets we've tested so far. We can give it a little bit of a shake, which is nice to see. Not a lot of cases that can even get to this point where they're lifting it completely on the side and still have some shake in them. So definitely nice to see there. When it comes to this case, I'd probably have to give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10 when it comes to MagSafe strength alone. They are definitely not some magnets to laugh at. Very nice magnets to see coming from Spigen. Spigen usually has pretty nice magnets, but nothing this strong that I would say I've seen before. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. I'll give you guys one last look around the case, and then we'll call it a day. Just real quick, back to our cameras right here. You can see pretty significant lip on a fairly minimal case. On the front side, you do get a small lip. I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here. If you don't have one, you get more lip. If you do, this is pretty much what you're looking at. Very minimal side with a nice design going all the way around and very tactile buttons. Really nice cutouts on the bottom. You get a rectangle shape for your USB-C port and then accurate speaker and microphone cutouts. On the right side, the power button side, you keep that same design from the other. Very nice tactile power button, and then a lanyard hole, which is really nice to see on this case, and then completely closed over on the top. But that is it for this one, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, remember to hit that like button down below, and if you want to see more, remember to subscribe. I'm pushing out a ton of these videos, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying them. If you have any recommendations for cases you want to see or accessories you want to see, remember to leave them down there in the comments. I try my best to respond to all of you, and I know it might take me a while, but I will get there. That is it for this one, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.